Speaking with Mitch Hull of USA Wrestling, National Teams Director. And Mitch, tell us a little bit about how USA Wrestling staff decided to get involved with the Metro Wrestling Championships and what kind of need they felt the tournament would fill.
Well, I think it goes back actually to the late 1990s when there's several of us as a staff were talking about, our high school careers in wrestling and got going about, there really wasn't anything in this community that had a city championships or a conference championships that somebody could say 20 years later, hey, I was the city champion, I was the conference champion. And through those discussions, we met with the athletic directors of a lot of the schools and brought up the idea of, hey, here's something that USA Wrestling could give back to the community where we could run a championship for the whole city and use this to help promote. We'd have our professional staff involved, and so we went to the ADs and they thought it was a great idea, and that's really how it got started.
Now, obviously over 10, now the 11th years of this competition, we've seen a lot of changes in the quality of the competition as well as the size of the tournament. How do you compare year 1 to year 11?
Well, I think it's drastically different. It took a while to get all these schools on board because they had commitments already at other competitions that they had to fulfill. So we started with a smaller group, probably 15 or so schools, but since that time there's been several, even probably 5 or 6 new schools that have actually even been built since that. So we are now in the mid-20s as far as number of schools, and the quality has really gone up. We've seen now with what we've got even this year, we've got the #1 ranked team in the state, the #3 at the 5A. You've got other schools that are ranked. This clearly is the deepest that we've been, and I hope that this tournament has actually been a part of this growth in this community.
Yeah, obviously you're seeing more Colorado Springs kids winning state titles, placing in the state meet. Has this helped the quality of wrestling from top to bottom in this community?
Well, clearly, I hope that's a part of it. I see that there's also a lot of schools that have got coaches that are committed, they've got clubs. All of those things have really helped raise it. But when you look at the start of this, just even as a decade ago, on the level of athlete that was then and now, clearly we've got a much deeper pool. We always had some talent in here. Heck, there's not a lot of tournaments where the Metro champion is also the Olympic champion, but the Metro has had that with Henry Cejudo. We've had 4A and 5A state champions face off here at this tournament, and then both have those guys go on and win state titles. So we've had plenty of state champions, but the depth and number of state place champions and place winners now has clearly increased.
As someone who's been involved in this from the beginning, do you feel that the community really enjoys this event and is appreciative of the work that we've all done to help give them a showcase?
Well, clearly they are. The number of coaches that come up at the end of the tournaments and say, hey guys, thanks for doing this. All we have to do is show up and wrestle, and the promotion it gets in the media, it's on TV, the papers pick this up. It's a community. The whole community is bought into this, and it's really, I'm just pleased that this is something that we kind of were able to start and give back to the community with this USA Wrestling staff.
And then during the finals, you have a pretty big-time atmosphere for the kids. It's certainly something that might help them down the road for the sectional and state tournaments.
Yes, clearly you talk to the kids now in the interviews, they say this is an important part. This is great that I can be a city champion. It's something that's bragging rights, but it also is a great tournament that prepares them for the state championships, because this clearly is tougher than a regional that they're in, because we've got more teams and we've got the best teams all together here. So I'm really pleased at how this is turning out and helping prepare guys for the state championships.
Thank you very much, Mitch.